Many fans want to know what it would be like to interact with vampires and have a romantic relationship with them, and I think it would be fun to tell them what the pros and cons would be to have one of those as your lover and best friend.
People really want to know that?
They do.
Jeez Louise. Well, I think it would be pretty awful. I mean, for one thing, there's the whole daytime ban. That would be inconvenient. Also, there's the biting thing. Not a big fan of biting. So I would have to say, in reality, this would be a pretty bad idea. And at risk of sounding like some of the worst characters in my books, I really wouldn't want my daughter dating a vampire.
Hal will have to add that to his checklist of questions for dates.
Sookie came about when I was ending a phase in my life when I wrote conventional mysteries only. I wanted to write something completely different because, frankly, I wanted to broaden my readership base, and I was a little bored with writing conventional mysteries. So I thought I wanted to write about a girl who was dating a vampire, not a girl who was a vampire, and I built the entire series based on that premise. So I wrote the first book, Dead Until Dark, without having a publisher for it. Not even my agent liked it very much at first. But he hawked it around for 2 years. 2 years. And finally found a publisher for it at Ace. And it's just been fantastic. Just been fantastic ever since. When I picked Northern Louisiana for Sookie, I was actually reacting from Anne Rice, whose marvelous books are, of course, set in New Orleans, and they make Southern Louisiana sound like Mecca for vampires. Well, I have maybe a skew sense of humor, because I thought, wouldn't it be funny to take the very prosaic, unromantic northern part of Louisiana and put my vampires there and give them really, really prosaic names instead of the wonderful names she gives her vampires, and just play off that. And it worked out really, really well. People from Shreveport tell me that they get calls from tourists all the time wanting to know if they're going to do a vampire tour in Shreveport, and I just think that's hysterical. Calling my world building organic is really the nice way to put it. Actually, I do everything pretty much by the seat of my pants. So sometimes it all works out great and sometimes it doesn't. I'm still learning how to do this, and I'm writing, I don't know, I've written maybe 30 books or something. But I still know there's lots of room for improvement in how I write and the process. I do address a lot of larger issues as a background in the books. And I think the reason that works is because I'm not trying to cram anything down anybody's throat. I'm not a crusader. What I'm trying to do is present a different way of looking at things to make my point. Certainly there's discrimination and tremendous unfairness in the world. Certainly if we would like to blame the evil in the world on monsters, we need to examine ourselves because we are the monsters. I think there's a lot of navel-gazing we could do that would make us all better people. I'd like to go to the locale. If the book is a traveling book, I like to go at least, or have been recently, to the place where the book is set. Luckily, most of the Sookie books are set in my fictional town where I am queen and I rule, so I like to have things set there because I know where everything is. It's where I put it. I don't have to worry about one-way streets or anything like that. I have had to learn a variety of things, some about synthetic blood, some about how to fire a shotgun. I've had to learn about reflective glass for the Vampire Hotel in Rhodes. I had to read up on Vikings. I had to read up on the Civil War and what regiment Bill would have been in. You know, the list goes on and on. So I know a little bit about a lot. Well, now that I've been doing this a few years, I've come to realize how much more there is to learn about it. The hardest scenes to write are the ones that are connective tissue between one part of the book and the next part of the book. When I'm on the road, I always take my laptop with me so I can keep on top of my writing, email, and my website. I love to write the big action scenes. Those are so much fun, where you get to cut off heads and eviscerate people, and I just love that part.
It is one of the most influential stories of all time that gave us literature's greatest villain. For 100 years, we thought his story ended there. But now, he returns. Dracula, the Undead. From Bram Stoker's direct descendant, Dacre Stoker, and Dracula historian Ian Holt, comes the heart-stopping sequel to the original classic. Based on Bram Stoker's own handwritten notes and extensive research. Dracula, the Undead. On October 13th, 2009, the legend lives.